Hello and welcome to yet another tutorial on Granny Square. This time around I'm going to be showing you how to make multicolored granny squares because they are pretty, and you also be learning how to change colors while you're crocheting. So go ahead and grab about 4 or 5 yarns in the colors that you like and lay them out in your order of preference, as in how you want them to appear. Okay, but I'm going to be interchanging my colors. I have about 5 colors here. I have mint green, I have yellow, I have butter, I have baby pink, and this is also pink, but I think it's a warmer shade of pink. I don't know exactly what to call it, but hey, I'll be using 4mm hook. So do not forget your stitch marker and also your tapestry or darning needle, and of course your cutter or scissors. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to begin with a slip knot, and so make that slip knot, and then insert your hook. Now chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch into the beginning chain. So you're going to be joining by inserting your hook, you yarn over, pull it through that loop, and then also through the loop on your hook. And so for the next round you're going to be working into this little circle right here. So chain up 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like I taught you in the previous lesson, you're going to count 1, 2, 3 and insert your stitch marker into that third chain, so that you would know where you would be joining to end the round. So go ahead and place 3 double crochet into the ring. Remember that the 3 double crochet is also referred to as clusters. So you're going to work a cluster into the ring, and then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to repeat three clusters. So we're done with one cluster, a chain 2. Now onto the second cluster, which is 3 double crochet, right? Now chain 2 and make another cluster into the ring. Simply means 3 double crochets. Okay, now chain 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3 clusters. Now we're going to be placing 2 double crochet into the ring, and then we'll slip stitch into the chain where the stitch marker is. Okay, so like so, and so you're done with the first round. Now you can chain and then cut the yarn. I'm also going to be teaching you how to work over your tail so that you don't have to sew it in later. Alright, so for my next color, I'm just going to insert my hook into the corner space, okay, and then grab the new yarn and pull it through like so. So you see the tail here. I'm going to wrap my hook around both of the yarn, so the tail plus the working yarn all together, I'll bring it through that loop, and then I just go ahead and chain up. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now place 2 double crochet, place 3 double crochet into that space. So 1, 2, and sometimes I like to just pass the tail around like so, to lock it in, so that I don't have to weave it in later. And this will be my third double crochet. So now I'll just, you can see that the tail is still remaining, so I'll just pass it around like so and lock it in with a chain stitch. Pass it around again. Now yarn over and go into the next corner with 3 double crochet stitches. Just watch my hands carefully so that you'll be able to see how I am locking in the tails, because I don't like to sew later when the squares are all done. It gives too much work, it makes life difficult. Alright, so chain 2, yarn over and go back into the same space with 3 more double crochet stitch. And so now you're going to chain 1 and then go into the next corner. Remember, this tail is also still hanging, so you're going to work over it. So just place 3 double crochet into that corner. And then chain 2. And then 3 more double crochet. And so what I like to do is to take that remaining tail and just, hold on, and just insert my hook into the same color, okay, and then pass it through the stitches. So I passed it through the first and the second stitch. Now I'm passing it through this one from behind, and then I'm going to work over this like so, so that they are all hidden perfectly. Now go into that next corner and make 3 double crochets, a chain 2 and 3 double crochet. So chain 1 and then place 2 more double crochet into that space, and you're going to slip stitch into the third chain. So you can count, if in case you forgot to put the stitch marker like I did, you can just count the chains from here, 1, 2, and into the third one insert your hook and slip stitch to join like so. Now chain 1 and cut. And so when you look at the back, you see that the tail that we worked over is just remaining small, so you can cut that off, and any other loose one you can cut that off as well, so it leaves your work neat for you. Now let's attach our third color. Now insert your hook and attach your yarn like so. Now you can leave the tail and then continue chaining. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Now place 3 double crochet into that same space. 1, 2, 3. Like I did before, I'm going to pass this yarn over so that I can lock it in, and then I'm going to pass it over this way again. and chain. Then I'm going to pass it over the yarn again like so, yarn over and go into the next chain space with a cluster, and then I'm going to make sure this yarn comes this way so that it is locked in. You can see what is remaining, so I'm locking it in. Now chain one and go into the other corner with a cluster and then a chain two. So like I said, cluster only means 3 double crochet in this very pattern. Okay, so 3 double crochet, a chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Now chain 1 and work over this tail. So place 3 double crochet into that chain space. Make sure you're working over the tail. Chain 2 and place 3 more double crochet into that same space. And so like I did before, you can pass the yarn through the stitch, the same color of yarn through the stitch, okay, not a different one. So pass it through so that you can be able to work over the tail in this section as well. Now chain 1 and then make 3 double crochet into this chain space. Chain 1 and make 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Repeat exactly this on top here. Alright, so chain 1, place 3 double crochet into that next chain space. Chain 1 and then place 2 double crochet to finish this round. And then you can slip stitch into the third chain. Okay, you can count from here 1, 2 and 3. Alright. Chain 1 and cut. Okay, so now I'm going to use the mint green. So going into this part, I'm going to attach my yarn like so. Continue chaining 2, 3, 4, 5. I seem to be forgetting my stitch marker, so let me bring it in. 1, 2, 3. And so now place 3 double crochet into the same space. So 1, 2, If you don't want to do what I am doing like this, you can just make sure that when you are attaching your yarn, you leave a long tail so that you can be able to weave in later. But I don't like to do that, so that is why I try to work over my leftover yarns as much as I can. So just watch my hands carefully so you'll be able to see exactly how I am doing it. All right, it's not confusing at all. Just watch carefully how I am passing it over, and you'll figure it out. Okay, so let's continue with the chain 1 and 3 double crochet into the next space. So repeat the corner by creating 3 double crochet or chain 2 space and 3 double crochet. Chain 1 and go into the next chain with 3 double crochet. So 3 double crochet into the next chain space, just like we did. Chain 1 and then repeat staying in the next chain space. Chain 1 chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the same space. That is always what we do in the corner. So by now I guess you already have a good command of the granny square stitch. Am I lying? I know I'm not lying. By now I know you've become an expert at granny square. So go ahead and practice. So join with a slip stitch into the same space where the stitch marker is. Now you can take that out. Right. And then you can slip stitch into the center of the space like so. So pull and cut. That's how you fasten off. Create as many as you can, interchanging colors. Play around with colors, and then in our next tutorial I'm going to teach you how to attach them in different ways. There are so many ways you can join the granny squares together. Okay, so see you in the next class.